Hey, how's it going? So earlier, I did a little quick stream showing the fact that I have the local HTTPS set up for the work that I'm doing in play streams for my local dev environment. Um, so far, that's been going good. And I started to dig into the setup that I'm going to be using, or basically the schema for streams and playlists and tracks and all that other stuff. So I figured I'd just kind of continue there. I'm going to create the page that I will be using to basically initiate a new stream. We'll just do some basic CRUD stuff, getting a stream created with a name, a description, and that also kicking off the associated playlist creation, and then an endpoint that the now playing will then use to populate that playlist. So let's see how it goes. Just gonna check out what I have up in the code view here. Make sure I'm on the right screen. And actually, let me see here. I do have the PlayStream widget. Oh, classic, showing a weird error. Let's see here. Can I reload? Maybe if I edit the widget, will it just refresh it? There we go. Okay. And that's how you fix coding errors. So yeah, so you'll see right here, right there is the widget that we have going on for Ecamm that will show the current playing track. So I'm listening to the new Cure album. Seems like a pretty good vibe right now for it. For this time of night, 10:36 on a Saturday. Kids were out playing all day and they're sound in bed, and now I can actually get some little side project stuff going. So let's see here. Let's get over to the code view and start doing some coding. So what do we want to do? So I have this stream set up. And actually, you know what? Maybe let's edit this a little bit. I feel like it might be better if I'm up here. It's out of the way a little bit more. Hopefully that's coming through on the stream, right? So yeah, so got the user over here. Let me kick up the size on this a little bit too, so you see a little bit better. We have user. That's our main, basically auth we have going on. That feeds into an account, which is basically almost like your profile. So we have a username there. The idea is that basically a single login could manage multiple accounts, and each account could have multiple members. Probably be some sort of pro feature or something. We'll see how it goes. A account will obviously have multiple streams, so we'll be able to stream. It will also have to have, we're going to do created at, updated at, so we'll add that there as well. We also have started at and ended at, which will be basically initiated whenever actual stream starts. So there's the potential that you could create create a stream, but not necessarily start it right away, like if it was scheduled. So those won't necessarily default to now. And the idea is that if it has a started at but does not have an ended at, that means theoretically live. But we'll see how that plays out as well. So I got those going on. Name and description should be good for now. I probably will end up adding an image to this model, but it'll actually probably be a reference. So I don't think we need to worry about that right now. I just want to kind of rough in what the general page is. So imagine I'm in Ecamm Live. I want to kick off a stream. I either go to play streams before, or I have Ecamm basically launch me into a play streams, like a new stream page. And then I can start streaming. So we'll see how this goes. I feel like this is looking okay here. And then essentially what a stream will also consist of. Actually, the one thing we don't have here is another thing that'd be cool to have on this page is essentially a list of the places where the stream is currently being streamed to. So I imagine that would be a relationship. And I think what I might want to do is similar to how well, actually, we'll get to this in a bit, but I think we want like I don't know if we're going to call it a stream provider. I'll play with the name, but how about stream provider? And that obviously will be ID with a and then so that'd be the type, which would basically be like whether it's YouTube or Twitter or LinkedIn or Twitch or whatever you want going there. It would also include the URL from that. And what else? What else might it have? I suppose it too would end up having a title, and some of them do have a description. And I could see those as essentially feeding back into setting well, maybe we'll call this a name and a description. Yeah. Not sure about type, whether that makes sense to have it as that. We'll go with it for now. And this will also be associated to a stream. So we'll have the stream ID and the stream it's associated with. And that'll be the stream ID. References ID. Cool. And we have the stream providers. Cool. That might burn me a little bit locally, but whatever. I think it's better for consistency like that. Yeah, I'm not sure about having capitalized stuff. I go back and forth on that. If anyone has a strong opinion on whether or not to capitalize relations in your, so I'm using Prisma here, but in your schema, I don't know. I go back and forth. There's something nice about having it all lowercase. And there also is something weird, the fact that it like for this just to be called external playlist but be a collection but not actually reference the plural always kind of trips me up. So yeah, if you have an opinion on that, let me know. Um, but this is what I'm feeling right now. So we got stream provider, we got a URL. These would basically be links out to then be able to watch the stream. We will have our. Oh, this is interesting. So a single stream actually will. Hmm. A stream will only ever have one playlist. I don't imagine there's going to be more. However, a playlist could potentially, so like an internal play streams playlist could be publishing to multiple external playlists, essentially creating like a playlist in both Spotify and Apple Music if you wanted to, or even beyond. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. But yeah, I think that's okay for now. So we have our stream. Then we have the stream providers. Essentially, those would be like toggled on slash requested based on the OAuth that's available on the account. Okay. That seems good. Yeah, I still need to think about this playlist thing. If it's actually going to have multiple, it might just have one. But then it would have to have the playlist ID, which should be an int, and then this would be another, this would be like a reverse relationship. But what's it going to tell me? So actually, maybe I don't. Yeah, I don't need I just need the one down. Does that make sense? Yeah, I guess. Actually, I kind of just prefer this the other way around. So let's do this. I don't have streams. or playlists, even though they're really just one. So yeah, and then stream providers. The slug's unique. And playlist is there. Anyone who's jumping on the stream, definitely try to hit up that Spotify link I posted. I'm not sure if it's still there. I know on Twitter I posted it to the thread. Let me actually see if it's on YouTube and stuff. Although actually no one's on YouTube. Someone's on Twitch. Let's see if it's on Twitch. It may or may not be. Let's see. Oh yeah, it should be in the chat. So jam along if you want. Cool. I feel like sometimes Ecamm doesn't necessarily push that stuff out. But all right, so where were we? Schema. We got the stream. We have these stream providers, which we won't deal with now, but they will be part of it. We will have a playlist that's associated to the stream. And that playlist will consist of multiple tracks, which right now I'm just going to be storing like the underlying data as this like JSON field, because there's a potential that this could either come in through Spotify or Apple. And really, I just need the core information off of it. I will end up standardizing this, I'm sure of it. But for now, I just want to get it roughed in. So we got that. That's cool. We're going to bring up terminal and I guess commit this. Update stream model. What's it saying here? Any constraint covering the column slug on the table playlist will be added. If there is existing duplicates, this will fail. Yeah, that's fine. There's no duplicates. Sure. Enter a name for this new migration. I thought I did. Update stream model. Cool. All right. So our migration's applied. Yeah. And anyone join in, basically, I'll give you a little. So PlayStreams is basically like a companion app that I'm going to be writing. It's like a web app. The idea is that just gives people who are watching a stream the ability to tap into the playlist or the music that someone's listening to. So I don't have to necessarily have the music playing live. And then in the stream, but you can follow along or listen to it if you want. It also means that you can go back and listen to it after the fact. And maybe, who knows, maybe you just like some tracks on there, so you discover some stuff. So it's kind of like streaming and DJing and coding and whatever else. So it could be fun. That's the gist. And then the app is basically consists of two Next.js apps, one for just the basic site, one for the actual like app, and then a Nest API. So that's what this will be going into. And then also, like you can see down here in the lower corner, that is just one of the pages from the Next app. being pulled into Ecamm as an overlay view. So the idea is that during the stream, you can also show like what you're listening to. And who knows, maybe I'll add some more interactive stuff, create some weird animations, have some like reaction stuff baked into here if people are joining or liking tracks. I don't know. We'll see what goes down. But that's the gist of it for now, as far as some background. And basically right now what I'm doing is just setting up these models so that way we can kick off creating a page. So what do we got going on over here? I'm also using the Pages router. I probably will move to the app router at some point, but Pages is just so straightforward for me for what I need right now, especially since I'm using Chakra UI for the UI stuff, and that doesn't play so great with app router. So I know they have 3.0, which does, but I'm not sure if I want all those components like thrown into the code versus just being able to import them, which is kind of nice. So we'll see where it goes. But yeah, this is the super straightforward Pages rendering the Ecamm Live stuff, which really is the magic thing, is really just this now playing thing, and all this other stuff is just overriding some styles and doing some basic setup for the connection. But what are we gonna do? We're gonna have streams, and I guess we'll do, I kind of want this as like straightforward as possible, like almost just like throw me at a page and it's just going to almost instantly create something. Or maybe it doesn't instantly create it, but it does some lookup stuff to understand whether or not you are currently streaming, like goes out and checks Twitter or YouTube or Twitch. And like if you're on that page. So I mean, I guess I could just do a new for now. This will just be new stream page. And we're gonna have some basic stuff. I mean, obviously it's gonna be the page, but we're gonna be able to, we'll have some form. We're gonna have a input type of text. It's gonna have a name of just name essentially. And I'll end up setting up React Hook form and stuff in here real quick, but just gonna kind of rough this thing in real quick. So we know we need a name. Do a text area. And that's just gonna be the description. I'm not typing good right now. And what else do we have? And actually, all this will probably just end up getting thrown into an actual form at some point, but just trying to think through what's on this page. Or maybe I should even think about, maybe I should actually just build out what I would want someone to see. That actually might be cooler. I mean, I guess technically I could do it with this. So this would be the slug. And this would be the stream page. So one of the things I did set up as just like an early component, because I wanted some stuff to play with the Spotify API to do some stuff, is actually, yeah, that's not bad. And do this. Not sure why my autocomplete's not catching those. I think maybe I need to restart something. We'll get there. There we go. So we got that. And then we had the description, which that should have caught the text. Why didn't it? Sure what I did there. Why is he doing text area? Cool. Yeah, so looking at that, I created this. There's a place, is it playlist? Yeah, playlist stream. So we'd want that to be there. That is a now we're not doing anything with a slug, but here let's go over to the code or the site view. Streams test. Oh, interesting. I might have to play around with this. I'll take you over there so you can see what I'm seeing. Oh, it's 404ing. Why is it 404ing? Not testing the stream. This should just work for any. Oh, because I put single stream. There we go. Wait, it's redirecting. There we go. Okay. So is it gonna recently played? Oh, that's right. You update playlist stream. I'm not sure if it's using the proxy request. What's going on? Maybe it doesn't have the Spotify provider. That's initializing. Actually, this is just screwing me up. Why isn't that working? But the now playing is. Wow. That'd explain it. That's because I was doing some testing. Cool. So, yeah, I was testing the Ecamm widget. What's going on? Oh, does it not like that migration I just ran? Yeah. That's what it is. That's what you get when you start cleaning up stuff. So let me find account. Yeah, it doesn't like that. Do I have any other? I think that'll be it. Always a little risky modifying pre-existing stuff during a stream. Um, so yeah, what is it not liking? Doesn't like something, and now it's like bombed. Yeah, terminate it. Cool. So let's get the API back up. Is it okay? There we go. There we go. All right, playlist is back. I mean, this is definitely a site in dev. Oh, so 401. Oh, am I doing something special on that index page before I render this? Probably not rendering the stuff until I know I have it. That's what I'm guessing I'm doing. I'm going to take you back over to code. Cool. So we're up, we're jamming. This was the thing that messed it up. That wasn't capitalized as I was cleaning that up in my migrations. But we are over on the index page. Play streams. Index.tsx. Oh yeah, Spotify token. There we go. You start closing some stuff out. At least this will just make the page from not blown up. And this playlist is really just placeholder for now. So we'll go back to the browser. You don't need all that going on. We'll go back to our streams page. What's it not liking? It's getting a 401. Trying to connect to the client. I guess I can wait for more stuff. But I see. Um, hmm. So I don't have the username. This is just a weird race condition with the provider. So I guess it's working here just because why? Oh, well, I need this anyway, so yeah, that would do it. That is the problem with the whole get server side props thing. And then with auth is coming from see if that fixes it up. Yeah, there we go. So essentially those get server side props add some stuff to the main app, which sets up some basic stuff with the client that I have in the web app, which is then making requests to the API. So I could break that out a little bit more so it doesn't just totally fall down in the event that that happens. But yeah, this is, I'm not going to necessarily start designing this page, but I'm trying to think of all the stuff you want to see. So you also want to see now playing. So we'll start adding some more to this block. Since the playlist will be an archive of what was, and then you also want to have now playing. All right, that's there. Might as well. Sucker for flexes. Everything's a flex. I guess I should probably close that. And actually, this doesn't need it. We'll just do a gap for this stuff. This is also just all placeholder for now. Just thinking through how we really want this page to feel a little bit. Cool. So that's good. What else? What else? What do we want to do? What do we want to do here? Well, obviously, we need to have links to the streams that we'll have. So that'd be like the stream providers. Actually, do I have? Not sure. I do. Yeah, I do. Okay. Yeah, I'll bring it back over to code. Let's just start fleshing this page out a little bit more. I feel like sometimes that informs me with this form stuff that I need to set up because it's like, what do I want to have this page reflect? But yeah, you'd have, the YouTube stream. You'd potentially have the Twitch, Twitter X. I'll never probably just say X. Don't know why. Who knows? Get weird on LinkedIn. thinking about it. Cool. So we have this new page. So you're going to want a list of the connections. And you're going to want a subset of those, which is just the streaming connections. But then you also want the playlist destinations to get created too. So I need to start thinking about. So over here in my, I'll show you like as far as the schema goes and really how generic the way that I'm handling the OAuth is right now, just to get some stuff in is, excuse me, I have the account and then essentially I have these account connections. And the only two main things about this thing is really just this type, which for now I just like have some static strings that I'm using for either Spotify. Well, actually, Spotify is the only one that's set up right now. And then that just grabs the whole OAuth exchange stuff and throws it in this token field. So I have everything that I get back from them. So I can have the expiration, the refresh token, the access token, yada, 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 whatever it is, just sitting in this JSON field. If I need to go back and reference the connections that are on this account, I can just query these and then it'll show the type and then I can reference the token and all is good. That seems to work fine. We'll see how well it starts working as I start adding more OAuth stuff and whether I need to make this thing a little bit more descript or not. But so far, so good. But it does mean that for this area where I'll have potentially multiple OAuths with multiple behaviors, one being the streaming and one being the well, I mean, I guess in the event of Spotify, it's both a consumer and like a read write. So it's reading the stream or it's reading the current playing tracks and also the playlist that was there. So let's go back here to the browser. Just think about this for a second. The way that the playlist will be set up is the currently playing song will start feeding that just as it would. But yeah, so I think we'll just have this all managed in the client for now. I'm not going to worry about the back end being too opinionated about how you're using these connections. It's just going to make them available and the client will be smart about how it wants to consume them or use them or send stuff to them. And that'll be good. So let's go back to code. And we have our new stream page. Sorry, my dog just wanted to come up and say hi. What? Um, so yeah, so let's see here. I mean, as much as I want to start making this form, I actually feel like I almost need to start setting up all these connections. But for now, we can assume that we're going to have a form control and form label. It needs to be like checkboxes or toggles. But these are going to be dynamic. Well, for now, I'll just Actually, I thought, why is it not auto completing? Swore that Chakra actually had a toggle component. Maybe it's just a prop on the checkbox. Oh, switch. Switch. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. Potentially there'd be one for Apple Music. Okay. And then really, I mean, in general, that's just saying, okay, yeah, this is for Spotify, this is for Apple Music, but really above is really kind of like a upper, for now, let's use the heading. That'll be playlist destinations. Make that a little bit smarter, or less wordy. Playlist output or something. So yeah, what else? What else? It's funny because I feel like this page is like one of those weird anomalies, like a chicken and the egg. I want to have a way to essentially, from this page, figure out whether the current person is streaming. So I can just basically be like, okay, well, these are the current stream sources. And then also, essentially, it'll be like, if you're authed into both Apple Music or Spotify, are they currently listening to music in either of these? And the assumption would be that you would want to. I mean, maybe they're all on by default and you just toggle them off just because you're already connected to them. Or maybe it remembers your last. Maybe it remembers your last set thing. Nah, I'm not going to get too worried about it right now. Again, just roughing this stuff in, but I am going to have to set up some. It's like, maybe I just need to set up settings and set up all the OAuth flows for these things. I mean, right now I'm handling it pretty jackified. Right here, I basically just kick off the Spotify thing on this homepage just as a quick test. But I can move this button into the settings page. So let's think about this. Why don't you want to autocomplete for me? So like music providers and stream providers. And under music providers, obviously we'd have some sort of Spotify with some text that would say connect to me or not. And if you're connected, it would show the fact that you're connected and what account you're associated with. And I can grab this button here. Then up here, I have to basic query connections. So I need to use I'll move this stuff into a hook at some point, but for now I'm just going to just do it right in the page. Use play streams. Got a little custom hook set up that basically can expose this client. Query key, connections, query function. Oh yeah, I should probably also tell where use query is coming from. Nope, that's not where it's coming from. That's where it's coming from. So client.get connect. Should probably change that controller to connections, but so that'll give us all the connections that we have. And then from there, I can just pull out to see like, hey, do you have one of type Spotify? So we can do, I think I have let's see what I have in the connect service. Oh, that's just in a constant there. I need to move these constants out of here because I need them global. So this is the thing with, I don't know if you've also been able to tell, this is a NX repo. So cool, Hank. Yeah. So let's just make a new little lib for this. And it'll just be playstream constants. This is the thing. I initially started this this project under my transmits NX repo and thinking that like, oh, well, the stuff that I'm going to be writing for transmits actually might make sense for play streams. But the more I work in it, the more I'm finding that I have to namespace all these libraries and API stuff so that it doesn't collide with like the base transmit stuff that I have going on. And so it's not the greatest. We don't need anything. Sure. I don't think it's going to be much testing, but we will use that. So yeah, so at some point I'll probably end up ripping this stuff out of here, but at the same time, who knows, maybe it will come in handy that it's in the transmits repo as I continue to work on that project and maybe build some stuff into here. We'll see. But I'm going to move this stuff over to this new constants lib and we'll update this thing to use that instead and blow away this because transmits play stream constants. What is it? Guess I gotta actually type right. Wait, what did it set up for itself? Oh, I just made it constants. Ah. All right, let me blow that away real quick. I got a little froggy there. I actually need to call it play stream constants. This is the name collision to the stuff I'm talking about. So sometimes you just got to run the command again. Clean up after yourself. I could go through renaming it, but it's just easier just to do it again. Wait, I did call it play stream constants. Well, let me. But I put it in the directory constants, so it just assumed that. Again, kind of annoying. I know you could do the directory. I guess I have to update I have to set the import path too. Import path transmits and play streams constants. What's going on with something's going on with my setup. Okay. Grab this thing. Constants is back. Did it do it right this time? Yeah, play stream constants. Okay, cool. Right, so I'm gonna throw this in there. That is the other thing too. It's like, I guess because both I have Next for the clients and then Nest set up for the API. Just exposing these constants from the Nest stuff, you try to import that into the Next app, and it's gonna just start barking about a bunch of other stuff just because of all the other named exports in the main that are coming out. There probably is some tree shaking stuff that I can do, but at the same time, I just know this plays better. So I'm just gonna just go with this for now. But so yeah, cool. So that's remapped. Let's see if I'm referencing this anywhere else. No. All right, so I can blow that one away. Oh, what did we transition over here from the playlist? We made it through that Cure album. I mean, it's kind of wild. It just feels like old Cure. Turn it up a little bit. But yeah, so I'm gonna query those. For now, I'll just log this just to make sure I'm getting what I need. And then I'll start pulling some stuff off and doing some dynamic stuff on it. Also, it looks like I got some code I need to start committing out, so I'm going to start losing track of where things are at. Um, cool. Where were we? We got that thing going. I guess I'll hide this a bit, clean that up a bit, get back to here. Let's move over to the browser again. Just think about this real quick for a second. So I got my switches, my fields. Oops. Text areas and stuff. It's not looking like much. Not looking so hot. I mean, this is what you get when you're just roughing some stuff in. Um, but yeah, I should. And then if I go to the, oops. Oh, interesting. Why'd I get kicked out? I break the codes. So not like something I did. What did I do? Maybe the API. The API is not liking something. I just randomly killed the API. Ah, okay. Deleting that constant. I did not like deleting that constant directory because I was exporting it out at the top of the thing. Makes sense. That was in connection. So yeah. All right. Sparking about that. That's what you get for cleaning up your code. Well, not fully in, but not fully cleaning it up. All right. Yeah, we're back. All right, we're in. Cool. So if we go to streams, test, and actually, no, we're not testing this. We want to test the connections in the new. But why is that complaining? Because this one isn't the auth page too. So gotta always do. I'm gonna have to refactor that. I don't need that thing complaining about that stuff always being there. Not proper. Next proper. Okay, so no errors. See, I'm logging out the client quite a bit. Did I add that log for? No, I did not. Where did I put that call? I'm like losing my brain. Oh, settings, settings. There we go. too many pages in the flow, and again, burned by the server side props. But this page should be secure, so we will make it secure. See, did it give us? Oh, I don't think I don't have an endpoint. I don't believe. Yeah. So I don't have, I'll bring you back over to code style, code mode. I do not have an endpoint yet to actually just return just a straight list of connections. So we'll add that right now. I'm relying on a query. But if there is no query, all right, let's flip it and flip it, reverse it. So over here in the service, I can get the connection, but that's actually just getting one. I need to do get connections. So actually, I won't even mess with this one right now. But I think I will want to flip that. So we'll just add a new get. And we need the, I don't think we really need anything actually. We can just return connect service, get connections. No, I know I don't have that set up yet. Just let me make it. All right, I'll make it. Async get connections. I guess, yeah. We do need the current account. And we will pass that. And we will accept that. We'll just return this dot Prisma service dot account connection. Find many where, oops, my typing's off. Account ID, account.id. Oh, account.account.id. Because technically it's account member with account. So and actually this, I guess I can just make this be connections. Although I don't want connect / connections. Oh, it's fine. Or I could just do all. For now, we'll do connections. And we don't need all these. Open. Sure, a few of you are out there hoping I was going to click on that environment variables. Hopefully not today. Hopefully not in the future, but probably will happen at some point. Okay, so we have connect / connections. This is getting a little gross, but It's working. Refresh this page. Does not like that. Did I save everything? Async, get connections. Let's just see what the terminal's saying. I mean, I guess it is a new endpoint. Normally those have been getting refreshed for me. Sometimes you just gotta kick the server. Apparently it was having some issues. Make sure I see it in the lists. Yeah, all right, it should be there now. Sometimes you just got a bucket. All right, we do have one. And it is, should just be the Spotify one. Yep, Spotify. Cool. So we do have that. So that's coming back now. So now I can start. Oops, sorry, I didn't actually show you that, but it's coming back. Trust me, over in the browser mode. Sorry, I should have brought you over there with me. But yeah, so we got that jamming. So yeah, let's just go to code mode. Oh, you're in code mode. That's right. Where's my mind? So we're in settings. Essentially, we could do if data. Like the most efficient way to do this. Const has Spotify. Come on. Same. It's actually data, right? Well, actually, I'll clean up the types later. So data dot find dot type equals to account connection type. Is that what we call that thing? I don't need the spec. Account connection type. Okay. pass in data. Can this, we'll finish clean up the types later. Or will we? You may not. Never know. So essentially, if it has Spotify, so I think I actually do have it's not the final component I'll end up using, but I did create another little one. What do I call it? Spotify account. It's a little component there that will tell you who you're logged in as. And then if not, then we will have some text that says, connect to your Spotify account. Account to share playlists. And we also need that I probably should say connect Spotify. And I should import the get the link there. What's our page looking like over here? Man, everything needs a little bump today. All the servers, all the things. Why is it not seeing it now? Okay, yeah, it's got it. Never mind. Hot module reloading. Going slow. So you can see here we have Spotify, and it does have the account that's set up. If it didn't, it would have our text with the button, but that's just the now playing thing. So we're good there. So, man, do I just go through and just do the OAuth for Twitter and YouTube real quick? Might be able to set up those flows. Let's see. It's like the best use of my time right now. Again, it's that kind of chicken and egg problem as you're building this stuff. It's like, I need those OAuths to basically inform certain things within the form for this new stream. And actually, maybe it's not even so much a stream. Maybe it's like almost just like a live page. And when you go to it and you're logged in, it just says like, are you currently live and what the current status is? And then If not, or if you are, then it gives you the ability to kind of edit that stuff, assuming you haven't already edited it or have an existing live stream. Well, I don't know. Well, we don't need this log anymore. We know we got that, and that seems to be coming through. This may or may not stick around. Just as a quick little checker, since the data is so kind of abstract, just using these types, not always the cleanest, but at the same time, I feel like sometimes you got to balance that with. It works. It's fine. So yeah, so we have our then we need our heading, which let's do YouTube's better one. Wonder what how similar or different the YouTube OAuth flow is from Spotify. I mean, what ultimately too is I want this page to, so it's like it's got like so many different purposes. Essentially, one, it needs to see who you're streaming from, so I can grab the URLs, so that way it can create the external streams. I think that's what we're calling it, right? What are we calling it? Stream providers. So essentially, it'll be like, okay, I see it looks like you're streaming. One, you have a OAuth connection to Twitter, and you have an OAuth connection to YouTube, and you have an OAuth connection to Twitch or whatever. Let's go out and check those connections to see if you have a current live stream. If you do, it will try to get the URL, and then it'll basically kind of like, based on switches, choose to create a stream provider reference for this stream for any of those ones that are toggled on. And it'll provide the URL and the type, and maybe it'll also grab the name or description, assuming one of those is available based on the connection, but we'll know which ones have either just a title or a title and description based off of the connection type. So that's one part of it. Then the fact that PlayStreams is basically creating a stream referencing those means that when that forum saves, it's also going to write back to those stream providers saying, hey, by the way, you can go check out the live playlist on PlayStreams. So it's like a two-way street on that one. But yeah. So that makes sense. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to get into OAuth land. I mean, I could just do it. I mean, there's a whole other path I could take where oh, I'm getting I'm not sure what I'm getting a message from someone on Twitch, I guess. Uh, wait, what? Oh, I didn't mean to send it there. Huh. Twitch. Not sure. I guess we'll see what we hear back from them. Hope you're okay. Whoever messaged me from Twitch. Um, Sorry I didn't see it earlier. Not exactly sure when it did come in. I guess it wasn't too late on it. 7 minutes. So again, chicken and the egg. So yeah, I could go through and set up all those OAuths and essentially have it to where I could make these fields. I also could just take the really fast path of, okay, I have a name, I have a description. I know that I'm going to be creating the stream. I know I already have the OAuth connection to Spotify. Actually, let's go back to the browser view real quick. So not in settings, but in stream, I guess stream test, streams test. So one of my thoughts was too, it's like if I'm coming to that new stream and I do see that Spotify is also already playing, I could have some sort of line showing, I guess, where the playlist would start for the stream that you're creating. And you could potentially like move it up or pick which is like the first track or tracks that would get added to that playlist. But maybe that's just too complicated and we'll just have just the now playing to start feeding it up. So I either could do the whole end to end. Okay, we're making stream providers, we're creating external playlist, we're creating also an internal playlist, and then we bump over to essentially this page that will be reading the now playing, checking it against what we already currently have within the track list of the playlist or the tracks of the playlist, and then adding new tracks after X number of seconds that would get played. Yeah, I'm not sure. But actually here, let's make these consistent now. I guess now we're going to do all these from the top right. I think I did that with the code one too, right? Close enough, kind of. Could be tucked up in there a little bit more, I guess. Let's see. Oh, even more, huh? Maybe I actually need to bring this one down. Kind of getting this whole Ecamm thing dialed in. I'll eventually get there. It's a work in progress. Okay, so yeah, what to do. I feel like I might as well just get the OL stuff out of the way because that really is like the ultimate. It's the ultimate thing that I need to have going. Let's see. Sorry, it's gonna crack a can. So what do we want to do? I guess we're gonna look at some docs real quick. but OAuth means secrets. What is going to be on display during this little secret time? Only one can find out. So let's see here. Exhilarated reading the docs. You know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to bore it on this. We're kind of getting into something here. There's definitely a lot of, it's like a sculpture, trying to just like rough everything in and get some stuff set up. So I do have the settings that I mean, I also could just start making this stuff look a lot nicer, but I'm kind of into this like roughing it in flow. Well, I guess something I could do before I actually have all of the flows set up is I could just get the general. Okay, you want to connect to Spotify? Okay, you want to connect to YouTube? I mean, I know I'm going to have this stuff. And I have to expand that constant out to all the different ones we're going to have here. So let's see. Has YouTube. Obviously, I don't have anything set up that's doing the OAuth yet. And then I would have something similar to this. I guess we'll get to see what this looks like. This might not look great. Connect to your YouTube account to share streams. And we're going to probably have a YouTube auth. And that would be red. Connect YouTube. Okay. Okay, so yeah, does not look good. We'll fix this. So that should have a Flexster column. That button is huge. You can also do that with this. And you might be asking, like, why am I using Flex versus just like a box? Well, I'll tell you. I like destroying gaps on stuff. Gaps are so nice. Gaps mean I don't have to do some weird margin top on every single element in there, even though there may come a day where I don't want to do that. But now I also have, oh, what? Gap that out? Oh, everything. Air it out. Maybe that's a little too much. But actually, maybe not. Kind of felt good with that big old gap, except for the stream providers and the music providers probably shouldn't actually be. Those should be kind of nested in something else. So then you almost get weird. Add another one. This is why people get mad at apps that are just div on div on div. But you know what? There is a There is a reason for it sometimes. There is a reason for it, but it can get out of control. I totally agree. But I've seen worse. I've seen way worse. People digging this Cure album? Are you listening to it? Is this thing I'm building not even worth it because you don't even want to listen to the stream anyways? Were you able to find the Spotify URL? These are the questions I ask myself sometimes. I mean, maybe I'm building this for myself, but no one really wants it. But at the same time, I feel like I've been on this journey of being heavy into just doing contracting and client projects for the last, I mean, definitely just the last, in the last 4 years, I haven't really done too much personal stuff other than published maybe some NPM packages. Um, I've maybe made like a few little tools here and there for clients, but nothing that I've tried to promote or distribute. And so I feel like I'm just trying to like knock off the rust. Also, pre 4 years ago, I was doing a lot of stuff where it was the Laravel backend with a React front end. But over the last, well, even more than 4 years, 6 years, what year is it? 7 years more. I've been doing so much stuff in just React and Next and other stuff that's just my preferred way of doing markup. And I I think I think the last time I actually did like a proper Laravel project, PHP 8 wasn't even out. And Laravel's on what, 11 now? Or did they just bump to 12? I have no idea. Um, I mean, that ecosystem is awesome, but I don't know. I just feel like I have to do so much like catch up. And I knew even back in the day there was like certain things of PHP that I wasn't the biggest fan of. Um, and that's even from my days of like working at Vimeo, where it was like a giant PHP monolith with its own custom brewed framework that handled all the different routing and security and roles and all this other stuff. That thing was a mega beast, but yet not too far off, at least from like where Laravel was early days. Um, but now that just the ecosystem with Laravel is so good, it's like, am I wasting my time building on Next and Nest, even though I just like JavaScript? And also, another thing I keep going back to is so many of the things that I plan on using in my projects are almost kind of like JavaScript first in a way. So things like Puppeteer, pretty sure that was JavaScript first. And then there's libraries that you can port it to interact with it, have interactions with it via PHP or whatever. Could be wrong on that, but someone call me out if I am. I'm definitely down to be called out. But yeah, I don't know. So I keep going back and forth. Just want to build something front to back, an API, an app, the website, promote it, get some Stripe integration in, maybe make a little money, use the thing, maintain the thing. Yeah, hopefully, and then hopefully just by having the thing, it kind of leads to future things. I definitely have a laundry list of ideas. Uh, just going to make stuff happen with them. So this is just one of many right now. But the things that are rolling in my head. But yeah. Okay, so we got that. It's not, I mean, this is not the final design, but at least it's a little bit bearable. Sorry, I went on a little tangent there, but trying to justify this effort. But at the same time, this is just having fun. So let's go back to the code view here. All right. So we know we're going to want to connect to YouTube as a stream provider, but we're also going to want to connect to Twitter/X. And has Twitter. This is definitely getting thrown into some sort of hook, like use connections, use PlayStream connections or something. There's no way I'm going to have this stuff just floating around in every place I need to use it. Do you think they're going to call it Twitter again? I feel like the X thing hasn't really caught on. And also, there's Blue Sky. And that seems pretty cool lately. Not sure if any of you all are on it, but I think I'm preferring that over Twitter right now. It just feels more intimate. People are more like jazzed on it. Kind of reminds me of old school Twitter vibes. Let's see what we got here. Let me go back over to the screen. We're just gonna again seeing this stuff just get added in there. I guess I should do a Twitch since I am streaming to Twitch too. Oh, what's going on? Okay. What did I do? Not grab everything? No, I didn't. I mean, it would make sense for me to throw this into some sort of array of objects to iterate over. All this stuff that will definitely get cleaned up more. We're adding Twitch now. I mean, I guess LinkedIn. I get business on. Has LinkedIn. Kind of wish I didn't sometimes, but necessary evil. All right. Let's see. LinkedIn has LinkedIn. I guess that's below. Actually, do they have a. It's more of a light blue. Maybe. Oh, Chakra doesn't have that scheme. That's fine. Cool. So we start getting our buttons in here. Have to remove that hover, that text style and that hover, and actually give like a proper button. Those things are actually links. At some point, all that stuff will make it back into the theme. So much OAuth. I mean, I guess technically, if you want to add another music provider down here, I am thinking Apple Music. Do people use Amazon Music? Anyone out there just ripping on a Prime account, jam into some Amazon Music? I'm not sure. I know I have some friends who are Apple Music people. So this is for them. Actually, I realized that you're currently looking at the browser and I'm over here just pumping in code. What's a color that makes you think of Apple? I have to think about that. This one had to be like a special gradient. Music, auth, connect Apple Music. Yeah, the green is definitely not what it's going to be. I guess for now we could just do an orange. But I guess it's a red. It's like an orangey red. All right, so we'll use red. Okay, so get my link set up. The way that I've been handling the auth stuff is the flow actually lives in the next client app, but on the page that gets the callback is the one that actually, assuming you've accepted and everything else, the page that gets the callback is actually the app, and then the app will then submit that connection to the API once you've done everything. That's kind of the way I was thinking about doing it, just because at least it keeps it in the client. If for whatever reason they deny, you can go back and show them a message that tells them something. It's not like you're sending them to some sort of like API route where they're doing some stuff and there's no like user interface to go back to. I feel like it keeps them in the client a little bit better. So that's kind of where my head's at with that. So that's why all these, well, I'll switch over to code view for a second here so you have some context here, but that's essentially why all of these are going to like local next API routes. So I can still have all the client credentials and stuff hidden there that then redirects, at least in the Spotify instance, it basically hits this endpoint, does all the stuff it needs to do to then redirect over to Spotify to show the page, get the confirmation, have the callback come back, confirm that it's good and valid, Once it has that, it then creates the connection, posts it to the API, and then redirects the user back to which will now probably be the settings page. Before it was just sending it back to the site homepage or root. So yeah, so that's kind of the flow I have going on. I think that makes sense. Like no reason to hit the API or put any load on that. Just keep it all in the app until you need to send it off to the API, and then let the API then take it from there. Oh yeah, this is definitely going into some sort of hook because I'm not feeling this at all. And obviously a lot of this is duplicated. These will probably also end up in just components too. But just again, laying out the pieces and the parts. But actually it is I don't know. We're getting stuff done ish. A lot of stuff getting roughed in. Not necessarily done, but we're making progress, I think. Ish. We're getting pages setting up. We obviously have the now playing stuff. This is the first stuff that I did just because I knew that this was just going to be powering it. So I wanted to get all the Spotify stuff in here first. And now we're really just kind of dressing it up. And I'm also now seeing all the OAuth flows that I'm at the setup. I'm hoping they all work about roughly the same. Like I said, I think I'll also want to do some sort of like, I mean, we got most of them covered here. There might be a few other odds and ends ones that we might want to do. Like maybe I do want to do a Bluesky. I may also want to do. No, I think that might be it. We'll see. I actually think I saw somewhere on the stream, the Bluesky stream earlier, that someone wasn't too much of a fan of the OAuth flow for integrating Bluesky. But have I ever seen Bluestream? Bluesky? Yeah, it's late. That's how I know it's getting late. When I'm start like, oh, Bluestream. No, Bluesky. Yeah. Someone was saying that the all the flow wasn't that great, so I guess I'll see. And maybe you'll see too. So I guess what I'll probably end up doing is I can't. Again, I'm not sure if people are liking these streams. I'm not getting a lot of feedback. I guess I'm just going to keep on doing them and just be stubborn about it. And hope that, you know, this repetition will lead to some sort of feedback stuff. But essentially, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all the client tokens, client secrets, whatever I need for all these different services, get them into environment variables, get a basic understanding of what the different OAuth flows are. And then once I have that rough idea, I'll start another stream. Obviously not today, probably sometime next week, where I will start to implement some of these things. And then that'll really start, I think, like building up and solidifying what's going on. I might not do all of them. I think the main ones I want to get is I already obviously have Spotify. I want to do Twitter, and I'd like to have YouTube. If I can get those three in and then essentially get to where I can create the page, call out to those services to get the current, well, I guess in YouTube's case, whatever the live feed URL is, as well as the live broadcast URL from Twitter. That'd be great to have those that I can pull when I go to this new stream page. And then obviously I'll have the now playing on Spotify, as well as the recently played, so then I can start playing around with um, understanding when those streams started, what tracks were potentially playing or currently playing when they did, and set a start playlist point, either based off of what's currently playing or maybe a track or two from the recently played. And then, yeah, and then create the stream, create the internal kind of like play streams playlist, start writing tracks to it, and then actually create the external playlist to Spotify and have tracks as tracks are being added to the play streams playlist, they're then being replicated out to the Spotify playlist. And I'm guessing I'm probably only going to do the OAuth stuff the next stream. I just have a feeling it's probably going to take too long to actually get to the actual stream creation, playlist creation, and track addition stuff. So we'll see where we get, but I'm going to wrap this one up right now. Hopefully this was interesting. If it is, let me know. Dude from Twitch, I hope things are okay. I think you're still watching, but I'm not sure if you're okay. Based on what you sent. So yeah. Let me know. But yeah, all this ride track, great. Yeah, I hope this is interesting. Hope this was somewhat informative. I will see you on the next one, and I will try to be prepared to do all the OAuth stuff. And who knows, maybe I'm going to get all of them just in case things start flying through. And then we can really start shaping this thing. But right now, we're just getting the bones going. I know that actually doing this via stream is kind of making it take a little longer to get the bones going, but I'm hoping the sharing is worth the slight delay building. But it's good just for at least for me, just to talk this stuff through a little bit. So yeah, hope it's been rad, and I hope you'll join me on the next one. So yeah, I'm Ryan at Ryan Hefner on Twitch, at Ryan_Hefner on YouTube, at Ryan Hefner on Twitter. Hit me up on Blue Sky at ryanhefner.com. And if you want to also hear the podcast that I do, I'm podcasting at allplay.fm. And obviously you can check out my site at ryanhefner.com. So thanks for joining. Like, again, I'll probably end up doing a stream probably on Tuesday. I think I might start streaming like Tuesdays and Thursdays in the afternoon. But all right. Hope it's been rad. Hope you heard some tracks that you maybe haven't heard before. Hopefully you're listening to the music. Hopefully what I'm building is not just for myself, but at the same time, if it is, that's fine. And I'll see you on the next one. All right. Have a great one. Later.